Hello, everybody out there watching, and thanks for joining this video. I have Heather, the Marketing Director, and the CEO, Justin Woodford, here with Amerispec, and they are up and down Southern California inspecting homes. And this is just a part of a series to help you home sellers know what to expect and home buyers. So let's just jump right into it, you guys. What is Amerispec, Justin, and how long you guys been in business?
Yeah, Amerispec, we are one of the largest home inspection companies in Southern California, and we've been in business for over 35 years. We're a franchise operation, and my family actually bought the very first franchise back in 1988. Now there's over 130 throughout the US and Canada, and we're the #1 grossing office out of all of those still to this day. So not we'll be the first, but we're still #1.
So you got a long line of family there in this business.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and,
We've been
and
doing it a long
you
time.
and you've been at it for how long now?
Me personally, I started when I was 18 and I'm 46 now. So right when
Okay.
I graduated high school, I was jumped right in. So what was that,
Okay.
26, 27 years somewhere like
Trusted inspector here. Perfect.
that?
So how many guys do you have out there, and do you still do it yourself?
Yeah, right now we got 7 guys throughout the Southern California area, located in Orange County, some located in San Diego. We do kind of cover basically all of San Diego County, all of Orange County. We do get up into LA, and we can get into a little bit into the Inland Empire, just depending on what people need and whatnot. Um, and yeah, so what was the other question? I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, basically what exactly on inspections, and what are you looking for when you
Yeah,
hit
yeah,
the
yeah.
house?
Yeah, basically, we're checking everything from the foundation all the way to and including the roof. All the major systems, plumbing, heating, air conditioning, electrical. We go in the kitchen, we test all the built-in appliances, room to room, opening, closing every door and window, every single outlet. We don't move furniture or personal stuff, but we do test everything we can get to. Go in the bathrooms, we'll flush every toilet, turn on all the faucets, make sure there's no leaks anywhere, walk around the exterior, take a look at the roof, get up in the attic, check out the garage. So it is really pretty thorough.
Okay. Um, I'm also a contractor, as I explained to you before, and one of the biggest things is the roof. And we've been going around and we've been seeing a lot of, whether it's pipe or roof leaks or whatever it may be. I know the importance of inspection on the roof. So you do that as well?
Yeah, that's included in the inspection. It's just a part of the inspection. Our
Okay.
guys basically what they're trained to do is they put the little ladders up on the eaves to check different ways. They also carry binoculars and look around, and then we look at the attic from the underside, so we'll be
Hmm.
able to see that way. The other thing, there is an additional service that we provide for leaks of that nature, which is thermal imaging, where sometimes, like if we can't get into like a vaulted ceiling or something like that, or even in areas where there is an attic but there's not access,
Hmm.
we can use the thermal imaging camera to try to check for leaks and things like that. But that is an additional service that's not
Yeah.
included in the general.
Okay. So what I'm used to as far as roof inspection goes is they get up and they do a roof inspection, and then they put out in the report all the little fix-its that it needs, fix this tile or, certain areas. And it usually comes out to about anywhere from 300 to $1,000 for the fix-ups. But they
Mhm.
give a 2-year warranty. That part you're not really involved in, but I'm taking that you suggest it.
Correct. Yeah, that's what we call a tune-up in the industry.
Hmm.
And that's normally what we find. Yeah, it's just the roof needs a tune-up. And so we recommend, we don't have a roofer that we say call this guy, but we do say you would need a roofer to come out and do a tune-up, which is somewhere between 300 to $1,000, which what you
Yeah,
said.
and it will save you about $15,000 when
In the future, yeah,
in
down the
the
road, yeah,
future.
100%.
And you have that 2-year warranty that's,
Exactly,
to have.
exactly. We did do a drone inspection, but we found that we were finding it most things on the inspection anyway, and we're
Mhm.
calling for a tune-up. So there wasn't really need for an extra inspection. when we're already recommending that tune-up. So
Mm-hmm.
we really haven't gotten into the drone business down in San Diego because of that. We
Yeah.
really haven't found the need for it.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So what exactly is not in your inspections?
Yeah, good question. We don't check for hazardous materials, mold, asbestos, lead-based paint. We don't check for TV, cable, Cat 5, any kind of specialty equipment, low voltage, electrical, things like that. Normally are specialty items that we wouldn't check. Pretty much most things that you would find in a home, we're going to be able to check.
Yeah. Okay.
Water softeners, things like that, we don't check. But most things we can get to. And
Okay.
also the one thing we do kind of run into, unfortunately, is not being able to access areas. So one thing for sellers to think about is that we do get into the attic, and so they're going to want to either move their personal stuff out of the way so we can get there, and or tarp over what they have so it doesn't get dirty. Same thing with
Yeah.
heaters and things; they get hidden in closets, and then blocked. So we just ask the seller to make sure everything's accessible for our
Yeah.
guys.
So that's where I come into play. Usually, communicating, ordering the inspections, and all of a sudden I become the person helping
Perfect.
helping to move things along.
There you go.
So before we got on this call, you brought up something at EMF, and I didn't until you explained it to me. And I had sold a couple of homes right underneath high powered you know
Yeah, lines.
electric lines. And
Hmm.
that's a concern for everybody. And those houses are hard to sell.
Mhm.
Can you explain a little bit more how you test that and what that's about?
Yeah, absolutely. We have a special meter that we bring out to the property. What causes electromagnetic fields normally is the big power lines with the three lines in between. And
Hmm.
it's the gaps between the lines that creates the magnetic fields. When they're all kind of combined, that magnetic field doesn't happen as much. It still has a field around it, but it's not like the one where they're separated.
Hmm.
So we go out with the meter, we look what kind of wiring, what they're concerned with, what's going on with the property. And then we have a meter that we go into the sleeping areas and we take readings where they would be sleeping at night. And we look for any anomalies or anything like that. And if there's different remedies that they can do. There's special paint and things like that that can paint the exterior with, and
Oh,
things
really?
like that. Yeah, to help.
Interesting. As a paint contractor, I did not know that.
Yeah. I learned that during the training. That's what they told me, is that that's one of the ways to fix it is they can paint a side of a house that's being impacted um, with this special paint that will block the
Mhm.
EMF.
Yeah, it's always exciting to be. That's for me. Part of the transaction is to be on that home inspection because I learn something new every time.
Absolutely.
Even though you think you know everything and you've seen it all, that crack in that foundation or how to repair it, or who knows
Exactly.
to come
I'm
up.
still learning every day, so that's
Yeah,
it is what it is. But no, yeah, we're really good with that. Just being able to understand what the client is looking for and then being able to translate that information into an easy understanding format.
awesome. Yeah, so I've been on, like I said, tons and tons of inspections through buyers and sellers, and one thing that you do out of the scope of residential, you do commercial. So what does that look like? Is it on a big building or small building, or how does that work for you?
Actually, we do all size of buildings. We've inspected up to 150,000 square foot industrial buildings, all the way down to little churches. We inspect restaurants. Most of the time, it's office buildings. A lot of the construction around San Diego and Orange County is what they call tilt up construction, where it's just concrete walls that kind of come up. Most of those have big warehouses in them, and they'll have office space in front. We do those all the time. But also, again, we can get into restaurants and things like that. We don't check any of the cooking equipment or anything like that, because that's normally goes with the restaurant, right? But we do check that all the faucets and plumbing and the main electrical roofing structure all that stuff is still there, or it's still in good shape for the client, water heating, things like that.
Mhm.
But yeah, we inspect pretty much any kind of building that you have. We can inspect for you.
Perfect. Awesome. Okay. Well, back to residential for a moment. Most people move into their home and just forget about it and live and just do the cosmetic stuff. When is a good time to get a home inspection? Obviously, when you're listing, but how many years from when you buy it, potentially? I mean, what is your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, we don't really see a whole. I guess people don't live in their property long to where they're going to be getting inspections done on a regular basis. But we do see a lot of times when someone's before they put the house on the market, they kind of want to know what they're, they've lived there for so long, they don't really know what's going on. So we'll come in and do a pre-inspection for them. That
Mhm.
allows them to be able to fix anything they want to, disclose anything that they don't want to fix. And then they can set a proper price, right? They'll know that, hey, this is what they're getting, and this is what you're paying for to get it.
Yeah.
We actually have a program called 50-50-50, which gives the seller $100 discount and the buyer a $50 discount if they go with this program. So
Okay.
it's pretty cool. But yeah, we definitely inspections are pretty important, not only for what you're saying, but also for maintenance purposes, right? Like you're going to go out and find different maintenance things.
Mhm.
So if part of our services, we provide a seasonal maintenance checklist where they can check different things during the different seasons and keep their house maintained to keep it up to snuff.
Yeah. And so, I always offer to any seller, uh, now is time to address the property. If you're thinking about selling in 5 years, even 10 years, address the property, do the small fixes,
Mhm.
keep it up so you're always ready. You just
Oh,
never know when that time is going to come, that life event is going to come, and you're all of a sudden you're under the gun, and everything's just a rat race to get everything together and um and prepared for sale. So I would my personal I always suggest getting it done, even having me in for just a free kind of this is what
yeah,
you need to do. And if I uncover some things, yeah, let's get a home inspection. Let's dig into this thing and so you're always prepared and you have
yeah.
that confidence you're gonna get the most out of yourself.
Well, at the end
Mhm.
of the day, that's what we sell is peace of mind, right? Like we're
Yeah.
we're just letting them know what they have and what they're able to sell it for,
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
realistically.
Yeah. So Heather, um, you are marketing director, and I know that there will be agents and commercial agents and different people watching videos and run across this video. How do people get a hold of you, and what does the process look like there?
Well, I give out my cell phone.
Okay.
I'm out in the community all the time too. I'm going to caravans in San Diego. I've been in this market for a very long time, but they can contact me on my cell. They can reach us on our website, and happy to answer any questions anyone has. We have our social media up too, so I'm monitoring that so people can communicate with us that way as well.
Yeah, cool. Well, I'm going to be putting this on YouTube, so
Sure.
in the link below, I'm going to put it on all those avenues of getting a hold of you that you just described. So,
Great.
yeah.
Thank you.
They can also call our office to order inspections. And then as she mentioned, we do have the website they're able to book online, so they can just click there and
Mhm,
they can just fill in all the information,
mhm.
and they don't have to necessarily call the office. The office follows up with them.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And one thing we touched on talking before the video is you're creating a service, which I think is a very valuable service for actually using you guys. Of you get your report and you have a long list of things that you'd like to take care of before you put it on the market, and you have a system coming up that you can plug it in, and trusted contractors would be referred to that person.
Yeah, I mean, so basically in California, we're not really allowed to refer people out, say, hey, guess what? We found this problem and call this guy, right? Because that could be non-ethical. But in the real world, we get people asking us all the time, hey, you're out there, you know people, you know the good guys, you know the bad guys. Who would you recommend?
Mhm,
And in those cases, we can recommend people.
mhm.
And if we get this service completed, it will be offered to the client after the fact. They will have a list of all those contractors that they can contact, whether it's you, the painting contractor, a roofer, electrician, plumber, all those will be in there. It's what's called a digital binder that they would be getting with their inspection report.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that actually because I refer out so much business and it's really hard to find people you know like and trust and are licensed, bonded, insured, all
Absolutely.
Mhm.
all the good things. So
Yeah.
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 I don't refer anyone that hasn't really worked on my house or someone's house that I know.
Right.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's my test.
Mhm. Yep. Yep. We're called in all the time to fix things that people have messed up. So
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, I see that every day, right? All the time. That's all we see is what people do to screw things
Mhm.
up.
yep. Yep. Well, good. I really appreciate you guys coming on. Anything else you want to add before you go?
Some services that we didn't talk about that we perform is sewer scopes.
Ah, perfect.
We talked about thermal imaging and we talked about EMF, but we
Mhm.
also have a luxury division of our inspection company. So if someone's selling luxury properties, we have a special set of inspectors that go out for these properties only, that really inspect the high ends. They're really used to those high ends. Plus,
Mhm.
it's a team of guys that come to the house, so they're not sitting around all day. We'll get the inspection done in 2.5 hours.
Mhm.
Um, and some other ones, we have verification of repair inspections. Sometimes the seller or the buyer asks the seller to fix things. The seller decides to do it themselves or hires someone that they don't really can trust. They'll hire us to come back and we'll verify everything was repaired correctly. Um, let's see, pool and spa inspection. So if there's a pool and spa on the property, we can inspect that. There's an additional fee, but that is part of it. We do not inspect for termites. That is not a term. We're not a termite inspection company. When we see evidence of it, we just tell the buyer to look at the termite report.
Yeah.
Most properties get sold with a termite inspection. The lender normally requires it.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, in my experience, pool and spa, it's a definite inspection if there is one. And
yeah.
there's 101 things that could go wrong and very expensive things that could go wrong.
Well, actually, the state of California came out with a law that requires home inspectors to check for safety devices on the pool or on the property. So
Hmm.
when we're out at a property with a pool, we're required by law to talk about these safety devices. So
Yeah,
that's just part of it.
all the way down to locks on gates, huh? Or
That's exactly it. Yep. That's
Mhm.
exactly what they're looking for.
yeah, cool. And then just touch on a little bit on sewer inspection. Where are you doing that mostly? Is it mostly coastal or are you doing that everywhere?
We're doing it everywhere. And that's a great question too, because my best friend was buying a house and it was built in like 2014, I think. And um, I was going to do the inspection. He, I asked him if he wanted a sewer inspection and he's like, well, what do you think? And I'm like, the house is so new. I probably wouldn't worry about it. Well, the day the inspection comes around and my sewer inspector happened to be right down the street. So I'm like, hey, cruise over here and do my buddy's house just so we know what's going on. Well, I was lucky we did that because we found a $20,000 problem where the main line was disconnected at the street.
Oh my gosh.
So from then on, in my brain, there is no property I would touch without putting a camera down there. There's no
Mhm.
reason not to, right? I mean, it's so easy to put a camera down there and just see what's going on.
Mhm.
Uh, I think it should be done on every property now, but definitely the older homes, the coastal communities, a lot of those properties were built with cast iron piping that's
Mhm.
only, supposed to last 30, 40, 50 years. And, they're getting up into the 70 years, some on the coastal, right?
Yeah.
80-year-old. And so we do find that, it is a very, very valuable service for people to know what they're getting into. Another story on that is we've done inspections in the past where the house is vacant. And so we come in and we run the plumbing like we do on an inspection. We run faucets and this and that. And everything looks fine and we are done. Well, a family of 5 moves in and they start using the plumbing and it starts to back up. Well, because we didn't, do any kind of special test, we weren't able to find that problem. But if we did a sewer scope, we would have found it right away. So that's why we would recommend pretty much on any house getting that done.
Yeah. So on your friend's house, do you suspect that issue happened on installation since the home was new, or?
It didn't look like, it looked like the street had shifted a little bit. But unfortunately, it did look like the seller had known, because there was a lot of markings down there where stuff had been getting caught and they were going to having to fix it. So that wasn't something that was on their TDS. So
Yeah, the disclosure.
my buddy didn't end up buying the property, to say the least.
Okay, well, good. It's great to have such a good company in Southern California. I'm looking forward to ordering my next inspections. We got a listing coming up, so we'll be
Great.
pushing towards that. And I'm looking forward to your new system with the contractor. So it's a valuable thing for just about everybody. So
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah. All right,
Well,
guys.
thank you, Tom. I appreciate your time. Thank you,
Yeah.
and look forward to working with everyone. We honestly, we strive for excellence. We actually have over 10,000, 10 out of 10 reviews. And if you were to do a word scrub on all those reviews, service is the number 3 word that comes up. The number 1 word is professionalism, and the number 2 word is thoroughness. So when you use Amerispec, you're getting a professional, thorough inspection with great customer service.
That's awesome. That's what we like. And again, the links will be down below in the comment box. And yeah, thanks a bunch, guys.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Broken bone.